We have a sports journalist, one of the great analysts here in New York, on the phone who's about to have a kid himself. So that kid will have to not only deal with this, but know that as his wife and the kid's mother is ready to pop within, I don't know, a couple of weeks. His father was 2 inches away from about a 60-inch television watching the Commanders last night. Peter Rosenberg's on the phone. You know Peter Rosenberg here in New York. He's on ESPN Radio. On the new Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Is it Hahn or Han?
It's Hahn.
Okay, well, I don't know Hahn. I know Don. I know Rosenberg. I don't know Hahn.
Well, but you see that it was a play on the rhyme there. Don Hahn works better than Don Han. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. It'd be Han and Don, and I I guess that's true. I don't know this Han, but I'm sure he's great.
Is this your first time on the Sam Roberts show, or
your first time?
The new version of what's happening here. Is this?
Oh yeah. This is it. You're the first sports analyst on Sam Roberts' show.
I hope this is the first of many. This is a moment in time. I'm excited. First of all, I'm thrilled for this new chapter in the Sam Roberts professional broadcasting career.
Thank you.
Second of all, I'm very into football, Sam. This new man who I've gotten to know over the last year and change, football Sam, is a very interesting guy.
Well, we're 2 seasons in, and I've told you. Last night we were talking, and I said that the Commanders are easily my favorite story of the season. That's how I go by these seasons, is the stories. Last year, I loved the Jets disaster. The Jets disaster kept me locked in the entire season. I thought it was tremendous. This year, the Jets were still a disaster, but the idea that this Washington team came from, I remember in the beginning of the season, I was like, I don't know. They're winning some games that they probably shouldn't be winning up until the point where now they've gone as far as they've gone. And they're doing it in such a dramatic way. I kind of couldn't believe last night that because you're such a fan of the Commanders and you have been forever. You're one of these guys that, when they talk about the people that have been waiting years and years for Washington to get into the playoffs, it's literally you. I was surprised that you were even posting anything on social, that you hadn't gone into this a fortress of solitude where you couldn't be bothered. No,
it was. I like sharing this content. You'll notice I don't really post when they lose, but I like posting the winning content. I like to post.
That's the good content. Yeah,
it's honestly you're right about the story this year, but I can't even fully do justice to what this is like. Not to be dramatic, I know every sort of bad franchise has their own story, but the depths, the heights of high when I was a little kid. So they won in 87 and 91 when I was 8 and 12 years old. Mm-hmm. So I was under the impression this was just how rooting for sports worked. Your team was awesome and wins the championship. This is what I'm signing up for. Oh, this is great. And then they win when I'm 12, and in the 33 years that have followed, the lows are so indescribably bad. For people who don't follow, most people's teams being bad is the team is just bad.
Right.
The lows for this team were the owner started suing old ladies because they hadn't paid their season ticket dues. I'm not making light of this. This is the most horrible thing that happened, but you kind of can't leave it out. The best player in the last 30 years was shot and killed during a season.
I
know that's a very serious piece and it's unrelated to football, but you have to include it in just how awful the whole karma, all the energy was so bad, Sam.
The franchise itself had to be completely redefined because it wasn't deemed socially appropriate anymore.
Yes, the entire team name had to be obliterated. And by the way, I believe that was part of the karma. So there were these 2 things karmically that were happening. And I'm not trying to blame the death of Sean Taylor on our horrible owner. Obviously, that was just a horrible thing that happened. But what I will say is I do blame the general disrepair of the team on that guy. And the fact is, I thought This is never going to change. My entire life, the guy's only 15 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be 75. Dan Snyder's going to be 90, and he's going to still be ruining my life. So the fact that they got him out, like, I don't know how it happened. I was going to be happy. We could have lost for another 10 years. I would have been happy he was gone. The fact that within 2 years we're now playing a second-round playoff game is insane.
So are you at the point now, right? Because they have the Lions next. And I hate to tell you this. I don't think they're going to beat the Lions, but they've beaten a lot of teams that I didn't think they were going to beat. And also, I've only been watching for 2 seasons, so what on earth would I really know anyway? Are you okay if they were to, not that you would ever want to put any negative juju on anything, but is there sort of they made it this far, that's a victory mentality, or is it we got to keep this ball rolling for as long as possible?
No, I'm very much. I actually sent out 2 or 3 text messages last night and said to fellow fans, I said, "Hey guys, whatever happens over the next half, whatever it is, this was the best season since we were little kids. Like this was.
Like,
if we lose right now, just in case, I just want to." So to answer your question, they don't have to beat Detroit for me to feel good. But I will say, the amazing thing about this sort of miracle year so far, and there has been a lot of miracles in it, it's fallen exactly how I hoped it would in terms of teams they're playing. Like, I didn't want to play Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to play the Rams. They end up playing Tampa. Boom, go to Tampa, win. That means they get to play Detroit, which I much prefer to Philly. And it's not because Detroit's not better than Philly. It's just because of the relationship. Like, I don't want to play Philly. So going to Detroit, they're a very scary team, but they've gotten beat up over the years. They have a lot of holes and a bunch of injuries. We will, I think, move the football on this team. I like playing on turf. It's going to be a fast game for Jaden. I don't hate us against Detroit. If we can get into a shootout with Detroit, I do not hate our chances.
Last night, there was a moment where they caught that, I think it was 2017 lead, and then Tampa hit the field goal, so it was tied once again in the fourth quarter. There was 4 minutes left or something like that. Did you feel like it was going to get taken from you?
When we held them to a field goal,
right?
Again, I was like, oh, we just keep lucking out,
because
I thought they were moving the ball on us so well at a certain point that I again texted friends when we were up 2017 on that drive you're talking about, and I texted a couple friends and said, we're going to have to win this game. It was 20. Yeah, I said we're going to have to win this game 27-24. They are going to score a touchdown. Like they are scoring a touchdown. The question is, will we come back and score again? So when we held them to a field goal, I went, oh, well, Jaden's going to – in my mind, I didn't want to say it out loud. When it was tied, I said, Jaden's going to go win this game. They're winning this game. His statistics with the game on the line are absolutely insane. The kid is unbelievable.
So when is your wife due, by the way?
A week and a half.
Okay, so you have 10 days before your child comes. This is why I'm nervous for you, because you've described many miracles. That in and of itself is, of course, a miracle and will be the defining moment of your life and everything. But I watched on Instagram, okay? And I've seen how you reacted when your team, when Washington won. You literally collapsed to the floor. You became a far more religious man. You acted as if, this is the most amazing thing that's ever happened in my life. Have you thought about and then I saw the feet that were filming you and realized that your 9-month pregnant wife is in the room. Have you thought at all about the fact that she will compare your reaction to meeting your child for the first time to Washington beating Tampa?
Well, first of all, I want to be clear. She's 9.5 months. And I know that did not cross my mind because my wife knows how emotional I am, and like all of my good friends, you included, know how emotional I am about this. So I think it would be surprising if all of a sudden I was like very matter of fact, like, wow, we have a baby. Like that would be disappointing.
Right.
But the assumption is that I will be a heaping mess, and it should line up like it should line up appropriately with where I'm at right now. But I'm not going to lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of have this like desire for chaos,
mm-hmm.
and I sort of want the baby to come on Saturday as the game is happening. I want the chaos. I think.
You know why? Because you want all the feelings to hit at once. You're a junkie. You want all the endorphins to just smash you all at the same time. Everything's happening, and then because there is something narcissistic about watching a football game and thinking like, oh, this is all about me and my reaction to it. But if you're having a baby at the same time, that actually is something that is key to your life. So then you can almost justify all that energy.
I don't like you implying that that the Commanders are not key to my life, and also more importantly, that I'm not key to their life.
No, you're right.
That's what I don't like.
You're right.
That's what I don't like the implication of there. But yeah, I just like I literally have all the Commanders onesies. I want her to wear one before the season ends. You know what I mean? This has been so glorious. And I'll tell you right now, Sam, there's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a chance that the name of the child could reflect the passion and love for the football team.
Little Redskin Rosenberg. That is beautiful. That's gorgeous.
And you know what? And it's a middle finger to all the libtards like myself
That's
who are
right.
against the name, who are for the name change.
That's right. That's right. It's about time you gave them what for. Are you going to be able to like? I mean, I'm assuming, but how much time do you guys get to spend on this versus like local sports? Since you're on a New York platform.
It's the worst part of my job is that like I can do some, but like, you know, today we got to talk about the Jets coaching hunt, and I'm like, who wants to talk about these losers?
Right.
Let's talk about a winner.
Right. You're 100% right. Well, look,
and I'm trying to figure out. I should get your advice later on like how to do it, where like I can sneak it in this heelish way and still make it part of the show the way I want to. In a way that works.
It's risky.
It has to be done.
Trust me when I tell you it's risky. I mean, this is these are the remnants of the Michael Kay show. Trust me, if anybody knows, trying to figure out how to organically sort of weave into a new show is a very risky scenario. I don't know if you want to be the heel just yet.
You know what? I mean, I think you and I should chat about this.
All right, man. Well, congratulations. The Commanders doinked their way into the playoffs, and yeah, it's incredible.
R.I.P. Matt Bourne.
R.I.P.
Congrats on this show, and thank you guys. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, buddy.